guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm covering 9-Day Fiance Happily Ever After season 4 episode 13, or like the tell-all part 1. So when I first saw that this tell-all was in 2 different parts, I was kind of annoyed because I'm done with the series. I find it to be pretty boring. So then I was like, oh, so they're gonna probably do like an hour before and then like an hour next week. No, they're doing 4 hours, and like I feel drained watching these 2 hours of content. So about a full hour of content is for Colt and Larissa. They basically document what happens after Larissa gets arrested for the 3rd time, and like this time for real they've called it quits. So it's Larissa meeting, I think his name is Nick, the same lawyer again with the same charges again, and then her really being scared that she's going to be facing deportation or jail time. Either way, both options are not great for her. Colt is in the position now where he's finally decided that he does not want to be with her and that she's too much of a problem and she's very selfish and blah blah blah. Which I don't know why he's just discovering this now, but I don't know, maybe love is blind. The one thing Larissa is hoping for is that Colt doesn't testify against her, because the last 2 times he didn't show up, so then they just dropped the case because it's just basically one-sided at that point. But Colt is in his feelings. Colt is upset. Colt is tired. He's mad, and he wants to at first testify against her. And Debbie's in his corner like, you need to do that, she is ridiculous, testify against her. And then Larissa tries to be very manipulative and then sends him text messages of like, I love you and blah blah blah, obviously for him not to testify against her. And I feel like it worked, or it's working, because he does feel like, oh, you know, maybe I shouldn't because she has love for me, I still love her, and blah blah blah. So that happens. So we get the question answered as to how Larissa was able to bail out of jail. She has a friend that's from Brazil that lived in the States that was able to give her the money to bail her out, and she was able to live at this woman's house. Plus, you find out that Larissa has a man, and like this man apparently is not a man she's just like dating. This man is her boo, this man is her babe, this man is her boyfriend. So Larissa moved on quick. Either Larissa was talking to this man while she was up in Colt's house, or within a couple days they decide to meet and make it official, because that's like really fast. He seems really nice, but he seems also very like, I don't know, media hungry, where he kind of acts awkwardly in front of the camera, but I don't know, I feel like it's not genuine. I feel like he's like kind of putting on a front, like, oh the camera's here, like, when that's not maybe how he usually is. I find it weird too is every time they kind of get into like a kissing scene, they never really kiss, which like, you don't have to kiss to solidify a relationship, but like I feel like every single time I'm watching them, she's like like type of thing. So yeah, she's a new man. So yeah, an hour was them just watching that. So we get to the tell-all part. Larissa can't come to the tell-all because of her court date is coming up, and she doesn't want to risk it leaving the States and stuff like that. And then obviously Azin's not there because he's in Morocco and he's staying in Morocco. And then I guess they have guests coming on. So they show you like, I don't know, they show you like a live show, but most of the good part of the tell-all is behind the scenes, because they show you what happens behind the scenes. So everyone's kind of being cordial to each other, and then I feel like Colt has a stick up his ass. The way he came there with a full-on attitude. Like, you can't tell me nothing, blah blah blah. And I'm like, boy, where's that attitude when Larissa was getting out of place and stuff? Like, or where's the attitude when your mom was slamming doors and stuff? Like, anyways. So he ends up talking slick to Chantel, and then Chantel is like, he tells Chantel to shut the F up at one point. I forgot what they were talking about. And then, like, they were laughing at first and stuff, and then Pedro had to come in and be like, don't talk to my girl like this, and Chantel's like, no, don't talk. I have it. I'm gonna talk for him. Like, blah, blah. Don't you ever, and like, I don't know, Chantel getting angry just kind of makes me laugh, because, I don't know, it doesn't, I know she's angry, but it doesn't come off as very, like, angry. It comes off as just, I don't know, she talks like, I call it like daycare voice, like a voice where a parent or a daycare teacher would talk to a child, like, you know what, you need to do this. Like, I don't know, I can't take her anger seriously. So that happens. Ashley's in her mood because of Jay. So from what you saw before, you know that they're not together anymore. Powell and Russ come there. They have an attitude towards each other. Nicole's by herself as usual. And I think that's what you see from the beginning. So then they get to the table. They get to the couch. And they're all chilling there waiting, and then it's like, Sean, the host, was like, are we missing someone? And then they were like, oh yeah, we're missing Jay, and like, okay, where is he and stuff. So Jay decides to roll up fashionably late, because this whole like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna come or not, blah blah blah, but I want to tell my side of the story. I'm like, shut up, like this is not a last minute thing. So, you know, it's not like he can get money from being on the tell-all, because he can't legally work. But he makes it to the tell-all. And it was one of the first things they started talking about was Pedro and Chantel and the whole dancing incident. It seemed like she never saw it before, and she was able to see it there. Which, it was so cringy and so embarrassing, because like I felt embarrassed, and just having her there watch it, and Pedro was like, he was just like, F this, like, oh my god, like, we talk about this, I said I was sorry, blah blah blah, I thought we got over this, and now she's seeing everything, she's seeing the picture of, sorry about that, you're, like, she's actually seeing it, how everything played out, and like, it was really bad, because like, Pedro's commentary at the time is like when he was really drunk, so he was just like, ah, blah blah, he was just the life of the party when he shouldn't have been. So I understood why Chantel was crying. I didn't appreciate when, I feel like they're always trying to blindside him, and they brought her parents on and showed her parents what his mom said, which, like, she's defending her child. People were fighting her child. Like, why wouldn't she fight those people? And it was really annoying, because I don't like them, especially her mom, who talks so slow. She talks like, I don't know, like we're deaf or something. So yeah, it was really embarrassing at that time, and her and Chantel arguing. Colt tried to step in and be like, oh, how come you're not making him talk, and blah blah blah. And obviously Chantel got mad at him. Powell was like, I was rooting for you, to Pedro, and telling him how like inappropriate that was and stuff like that, but like, we know what it was. What else do they talk about? They talk a little bit about Colt and Larissa. So yeah, but I don't think this this time you were able, this episode, you were able to see her boyfriend, but like we obviously know that he's there. Sorry about that, my battery died, so I can't remember what I was talking about before I went to go change it. They haven't really touched on anyone's story because sometimes I get confused on what's happening on the part 1 versus part 2, because I don't know, I don't think Jay gets confronted with cheating at this moment, so but you know, like that's the case. Like Powell and Russ, they never talked about their relationship. We still haven't seen Nicole and Azin. So to me, like, I felt like aside from Chantel and Pedro and Larissa and Cole, there really wasn't much discussion with the other couples. And the other couples are not adding that much input anyways. So, and I feel like Sean hasn't asked the like hard-hitting questions yet, but I definitely think the way they do the tell-all is so shady, because when they say something, they have like the clip to back it up, so you can't really like claim, I don't know, claim that you don't recall it or something, because like they show you like this is what happened in all its glory, in all its editing. So I don't know, but I did find it to be boring. I can't wait until this series is done, so I won't need to see these couples again. You know what, at this point, I know this is kind of short video, but I'm just gonna end my recap there. Hopefully part 2 is more juicier and we'll get the full 2 hours in the tell-all versus the 1 hour of a couple and then an hour of content. Once the series is done, I'm definitely following the 9-Day Fiance one, because I have to see my Angela and Michael. Michael! I will be covering, and I could be covering Love After Lockup. I do watch that show. I love that show, but because I barely have free time to record the videos I'm recording now, it'd be hard for me to add more videos. So hopefully I'll have more to say in the next tell-all, next part of the tell-all, but I'm happy that the series is almost done. Well, that concludes my recap of 9-Day Fiance, Happily Ever After, Season 4, Episode 13, aka the tell-all part 1. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.
I'm just a dumb cunt, fucking sick and tired of it. Maybe I could front love, maybe I could buy a zip, maybe I get fucked up. Next time I could save some. Why it's gotta be like this? Why it's gotta be that way? Put it inside. Feel so rise up, banging on that loud.